Well, we got a sick and disturbing story here. No way to sugarcoat this one. I could, I don't know, try to do a bait and switch, but you already know because you're here. Depraved killer who faces jail after he choked his 76-year-old grandmother to death. We could stop right there, okay? That's already fucking sick as shit enough, because if you wanted to be impersonal, if you just wanted to kill her because you were fucking angry or something, choking and strangling is probably the most personal way to do it. So you would think, well, even though this is East London, so the firearms aren't that easy to find at the ready. Oh, pack the old musket, good chap, and I shot her in the fucking head because the bitch didn't know how to properly prepare breakfast. Well, no, that's not the case. No, strangling? Oh, that's fucked. But don't worry, there's more than just a situation that's fucked in this one. Yeah, strangled his grandmother to death in the East London home, then repeatedly raped her corpse. Happy Friday. Pictured here for the first time is the depraved cocaine-addicted killer who strangled his grandmother to death before repeatedly raping her corpse. Oh! Donovan Miller choked 76-year-old Phyllis Grant and beat her over the head with a vase at her home in Kent Street, Plaistow in East London. The 31-year-old killer then had sex with her body twice before admitting his horrifying acts to paramedics, telling them, "I raped her." Why would you ever fucking admit it? Did you think that you can't rape her because she's a corpse? Because you can't, like, was that, oh my fucking God. Miss Grant was a regular churchgoer whose neighbors described her as the matriarch of the community and a lovely woman. I think Donovan would agree. She had been released from hospital after recovering from COVID prior to killing her in March last year. She just wouldn't stop coughing, so Donovan just decided to help her out with that and then tried to apply his own home therapeutic. The Old Bailey heard how police arrived at Miss Grant's address after 10 p.m. on March 25th last year after Miller called police saying he had killed his grandmother the previous night. Okay, so he was trying to turn himself in, I guess. He told the paramedic that night of his arrest, "I raped her as well for what it's worth yesterday and today." Oh my God, could you imagine the emotional roller coaster that was that conversation? Yeah, I raped her. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yesterday and today. What the super fuck is wrong with you? Miller later confirmed that he had sex. It's probably pretty easy to confirm it. You don't need him to continuously say it, and it's even making me sick at this point. He also told police he was dependent on cocaine, but he had no mental health issues. Point of order, I think he admitted to one. Miller, also of Kent Street, Plaistow, yeah, we know, appeared in court via video link from John Howard Center Secure Psychiatric Unit. It's an insane situation, but I wouldn't say that he's insane. Throw him in general population and have him explain to the other people that are there exactly why he's there. I'm sure he'll get a hero's welcome. And by that, I mean probably beat about the face. Crown Prosecution Services accepted a plea and light to the conclusion of 3 psychiatrists. Oh, maybe he is fucking batshit crazy, but I have no previous mental deficiencies. I'm just addicted to cocaine. Like Rick James says, it's a hell of a drug. Miller is now due to be sentenced next month. Though Donovan faces a prison term, he could be sentenced to a hospital order under guidelines for diminished responsibility. Oh my God. I don't know what the deal with UK courts is, but he murdered his grandmother, which seems like a pretty aggravated act, by the way. And then he committed 2 counts of rape and desecration of a corpse. What? Hospital orders are used if a mental practitioner suggests that the offender suffered from a mental disorder at the time of the offense, and court considers that a hospital order may be an appropriate way of dealing with the case. Oh my God. But I'd also argue, because cocaine will still be on the streets if he's ever theoretically let out, okay? His probability to commit again, well, to be fair, he might only have one other grandmother, so somebody please think of her. Speaking about the plea, prosecutor Carolyn Carberry, QC, said, careful consideration has been given in advance of today to the acceptability of a plea and in light of the conclusions of 3 forensic psychiatrist consultants. The Crown's position is that a proper approach is to take in this case. Judge Anthony Leonard, Queen's Counsel, said, "So on the basis of diminished responsibility, as we used to call it, adjourning sentence until March 28th, while further psychiatric reports are prepared. The judge told Miller, the fact that you pled guilty today will be taken into account by the sentencing judge. Oh my god, dude. And just to flush out this video, I wanted to take a look at the signs and symptoms and what can happen if you are in fact addicted to cocaine, because we'll probably never figure out exactly why he gets the lesser sentence or exactly what the registered psychiatrist that definitely didn't look at this guy right here and realize that, oh, maybe he deserves the lighter sentence. I don't know why they'd possibly come to that conclusion in woke fucking Britain. Let's just try to glean a little insight into what they could have possibly figured out about this. Cocaine is one of the most widely abused stimulants in the United States and is the cause of thousands of overdoses and physical complications leading to emergency room visits each year, especially if it's laced with fentanyl, but then we call that natural selection. What are the risks of cocaine addiction? The risk of an individual becoming addicted to cocaine is relatively high, classified as a Sched 2 drug by the DEA. Cocaine addiction is at risk of about anyone who uses the drug. In fact, a landmark study published in 2005 stated that the risk of the individual become addicted to cocaine after just one use is 5%. The risk increases with each subsequent use of the drug. Addiction to this powerful stimulant develops easily, in part because the effects of the drug only last for a short time. To sustain the high, users will often take cocaine repeatedly in a short period. Yeah, we already know. What are the side effects of cocaine addiction? All right, let's see. Cocaine is used in some different ways, with some methods of having a more powerful impact than others. One of the most common methods of cocaine is to snort the drug, but what about cooking it? What about crack? I don't know if it's made its way over to the UK, but you know, they said cocaine addiction. That's what Donovan Miller was suffering from. So what are the short-term effects of cocaine abuse? Well, cardiovascular problems, okay, not psychological, heart rhythm disturbances, chest pain, heart attack, but that was covered by heart rhythm disturbances, but whatever. Increased temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, and blood pressure. Neurological side effects such as strokes or seizures. Maybe he was suffering from a stroke at the time when he choked out his grandma and was, I'm not even finishing what I was going to say because it's too fucked in the head. Loss of appetite, headaches, abdominal pain, nausea, nosebleed, difficulty swallowing. Well, we know Nana wasn't running afoul of that. Dilated pupil, hoarse throat, and a runny nose. Okay, psychological break, not common with cocaine addiction. Another method of cocaine use is to inject the drug using a needle. What? Okay, cool. I'm such a square when it comes to using drugs, okay? I've only known about crack and, snorting coke. And then when it comes to, the old fucking needle, I always think of, like, heroin. I didn't know people injected cocaine. I'd imagine that's probably pretty powerful. This method may have additional risks and adverse effects. Shooting or injecting cocaine is dangerous because it can produce a much stronger high, lead to contraction of the blood-borne diseases. Yeah, okay, if you're sharing needles. Cause an increased risk of infection because of sharing needles and the dirtiness of, your average drug user. Produce an increased risk of overdose. Okay, cool. Signs of cocaine addiction, weight loss, covered clothing, money lost or missing, mood changes. Cocaine user will show signs of fatigue. I don't know too many people who are like exceptionally tired, strangling and raping people, so that might not be it, okay? Irritability, hostility, and aggression will often surface when the user has gone too long between doses. Isolated from loved ones or friends, he made sure of that one, and continued use of cocaine despite legal, financial, or relationship troubles. But he said he was in good mental conditions, even though, hey, we went down the only thing that he copped to on this one, so sure is an interesting case, and I'm sure he didn't game the system on that one. Well, a system that was probably all too willing to bend to his own specific whims. But yeah, nice disturbing story on a Friday afternoon for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Now we're just going to go to, regular run-of-the-mill crime in New York City. But hey, guess what? They're phasing out the Vax Pass like literally everywhere else. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.